My loving audience, take my love and subscribes my channel. Is Fairmont Crest finally collapsing under the weight of its own black royalty status? Think about it for a second. We've watched the Richardson and Dupree families carry themselves like they are untouchable for a long time. But this week, the gates didn't feel like a luxury anymore. They felt like a prison. Was Tyrell's heartbreak actually a predictable byproduct of a family built on abandonment? Is he becoming the very villain he once feared? Today, we are tearing down the gates to look at the psychological wreckage left behind when Jessica walked away. We need to talk about why Andre is choosing the absolute wrong person to trust. And we have to ask why Eva's obsession with a phantom scar is actually a cry for help that no one in the family is hearing. The show has always been about the messy things rich people do. But this week, the mess turned into a total biohazard. We saw Jessica Harris finally hit the eject button on her relationship with Tyrell Richardson. This was honestly a long time coming. If you've been watching him, you've seen his nice guy act slowly morph into something much more suffocating. At the same time, Andre Richardson is drowning in a mystery bottle of champagne. It feels like a ticking time bomb for his marriage to Dany. Yet, he's turning to Ted to confess. That is a man whose own track record with honesty is basically a dumpster fire. And then there's Eva Thomas. She is suddenly demanding plastic surgery for a scar we can't even see. The fans are divided. Some say she's just being vain. But I think she's manifesting her mother's shallow trauma. Why is all of this happening right now? The series is shifting. We aren't just dealing with external threats like tornadoes or kidnappings anymore. We are dealing with internal rot. The characters aren't running from villains. They are running from their own reflections. Jessica didn't just dump Tyrell because she's moving to UCLA. She dumped him because she saw the future he was trying to build around her. It was a clingy, controlled future. Andre isn't confessing to Ted because he trusts him. He's doing it because he needs to find someone who won't judge him for having a secret. Ted is the secret keeper-in-chief of Maryland. He understands the weight of a hidden life. Let's look at the death of a nice guy. Why did Jessica finally pull the trigger on August 5th? For weeks, she's been setting the stage. She said she wanted to enjoy the summer and then end things before moving to California. She acted out of a survival instinct. She knew that a long-distance relationship with Tyrell wouldn't just be hard. It would be a digital leash. Tyrell didn't trigger the breakup by making one big mistake. He triggered it with his constant presence. He became an emotional weight she couldn't carry across the country. How is Tyrell feeling deep down? He's likely feeling the abandonment he felt with his biological mother, June. Every time Jessica says no, his brain hears June saying, "I can't care for you." He isn't actually fighting for Jessica. He's fighting a ghost from his past in 2018. Jessica probably feels a massive sense of relief. She's mourning the relationship, sure. But she's celebrating her freedom. I don't think we should view this as a tearful goodbye. It was a necessary exorcism. Tyrell has been using his chess skills to treat his relationship like a board game. He wanted to control the pieces. Jessica didn't just leave him. She flipped the board over. The show wants us to feel heartbroken for him. But this is the first time Jessica has shown true agency. She is stepping outside of her family's expectations for the first time. What do you think? I'm honestly Team Jessica all the way. The way Tyrell has been acting is a massive red flag. He calls her constantly. He's been acting immature. You can't claim to love someone while trying to control their next chapter. The fans on Reddit are calling him a dumbass kid. That sounds harsh. But it's the reality of a boy who hasn't learned how to handle the word no. There's a deep psychological layer here. This is what happens when an anxious attachment style meets a need for autonomy. Tyrell's ego is tied to being the stable one. He's the nerd who plays chess and stays out of trouble. When his one perfect thing fails, his entire identity falls apart. His defense mechanism is to bolt with heartache. That is just a flight response from a perceived ego death. Now let's talk about the champagne trap. What finally made Andre break? It was that nameless bottle of wine. Andre is a man who says honesty is the bedrock of his marriage. But he has realized his past has caught up with him. He's choosing Ted to confide in because Ted is a plastic surgeon. Ted literally spends his life fixing the surface while the internal stays hidden. Andre is terrified. It isn't just guilt. It's the fear of being seen as damaged goods by Dany. He's a sophisticated nephew who inherited a fortune. But he's realizing that money can't buy a clean slate. Underneath that cool photographer exterior is a man who feels like a total fraud. The champagne mystery is a metaphor for the Richardson and Dupree lifestyle. It's sparkling on the outside. But it is full of pressure that can pop at any second. Andre isn't looking for advice. He's looking for an accomplice. By telling Ted, he makes sure the secret stays within the family circle of men who have betrayed their wives. It's a brotherhood of silence. I think Andre is making a huge tactical error. He turned to Smitty for help when he couldn't find it anywhere else. That shows he is truly desperate. But keeping Dany in the dark after he witnessed things she was never meant to see is going to backfire. You can't build a marriage on parallel secrets. He needs to stop being sophisticated and start being real. This is a classic case of projection. Andre is projecting his fear of his own past onto this anonymous gift. He's giving the wine bottle power it doesn't actually have. He's looking for a reason to let the secret out. His breaking point is just cognitive dissonance. There is a gap between the honest husband he wants to be and the man with a past he actually is. Then there is Eva and the plastic surgery debate. Why is she obsessed with a scar we never even see? It's a physical manifestation of her feeling stunted. Her life-saving surgery was supposed to be a new beginning. But to Eva, it's a permanent reminder that she is different. She wants plastic surgery to cut away the trauma. She doesn't just want to fix the tissue. She feels incredibly lonely. She's been welcomed into the family. But she still feels like an outsider. The scar is the one thing she feels she can control. Her mother Leslie is constantly manipulating her behind the scenes. This desire for surgery is actually her only piece of autonomy. It's just ironic that she's exercising it through body modification. This storyline is a brilliant subversion of the rich bitch trope. Kat is obsessed with short skirts and true crime. But Eva is obsessed with a flaw that only exists in her mind. The phantom scar is a symbol of her illegitimate status. She thinks if she can make the outside perfect like a Richardson, people will forget she's a Thomas. The audience is right to be annoyed. But I think they are annoyed for the wrong reasons. It isn't stupid or vain. It is tragic. The writers are using an unseen scar to show us the problem is entirely psychological. Ted and Leslie clashing over her recovery is just them using Eva as a battlefield again. Ted wants to be the hero doctor. Leslie wants to be the protective mother. But neither of them is actually listening to their daughter. Eva is suffering from body dysmorphia triggered by trauma. She is hyper-focusing on a minor flaw to avoid processing the major reality of her life. Her family has shifted. Her health has shifted. She is using the scar as a shield against growing up. Things are about to get much worse in Fairmont Crest. Tyrell's scheme backfired in spectacular fashion on August 5th. That wasn't just embarrassing. It was the moment he lost the respect of the Dupree cousins. They are starting to compare notes on the family's inconsistencies. If Tyrell moves into a stalker arc, he isn't just threatening Jessica. He is threatening his pop's political career. I predict Tyrell's inability to accept this breakup will lead him to use his chess mind to game Jessica's move to UCLA. He won't just let her go. He will try to checkmate her. Maybe he'll follow her there. Maybe he'll sabotage her enrollment. He thinks he knows what's best for her. It's incredibly patronizing. He thinks he can force loyalty. But if he bolted with heartache, it's because he realized his strategy was flawed from the very first move. This is the hero complex at work. Tyrell wants to be the one who saved June. He wants to be the one who saves the family from Kenny. He wants to save Jessica from a long-distance relationship. But nobody actually wants to be saved by him. This leads to a narcissistic injury. His sense of self-importance is wounded when Jessica asserts her own plans. He isn't just reacting to a breakup. He's reacting to the loss of his status as the perfect boyfriend. What about Andre? Why is he turning to Smitty for help on August 7th? Smitty is a reporter. Andre realized his past has finally caught up with him. He can't outrun it anymore. He needs someone who can dig up the truth before Dany sees things she wasn't meant to see. He is trying to get ahead of the story. I bet Smitty feels a lot of surprise at being Andre's last resort. He's the cool parent and the investigative reporter. But being the keeper of the champagne mystery is a dangerous new role for him. He probably feels a sense of duty to help his husband's nephew. But he also just had a suspicious conversation with Kat. The Richardsons are a house of cards. I see the champagne mystery as a Trojan horse. The gift was designed to make Andre spiral. It was never about the wine. It was about the reveal. Someone knows who Andre really is. Andre is chasing a mystery while the real threat is sitting right beside him. Who is that threat? Is it Heather? Is it Leslie? Or is it his own guilt over what happened to Derek and Ashley? Andre's guilt is misplaced. Derek's death was a tragedy. But Andre opening up to Chelsea about his fears shows he is still making it about himself. He needs to focus on his wife. Dany is witnessing things she was never meant to see. I think he's being a smug snake. He's trying to manage the fallout instead of being a husband. He's experiencing compulsive disclosure. The weight of the secret is becoming physically unbearable. He is looking for a shocking confession to blow up the fragile truce he has with his own conscience. He's using Ted and Smitty as filters. If they don't look at him with horror, maybe he isn't a monster. He is just seeking validation. The crossover with the young and the restless is going to provide the perfect distraction. Secrets are going to explode. While Victor Newman is giving a stunning announcement at the fundraiser, Tyrell is going to make his villainous move. I predict he will use the fundraiser to humiliate Jessica. He might force her into a situation where she can't even go to UCLA. Meanwhile, Eva's phantom scar will be the key to exposing Leslie's latest scheme. Nicole will realize that the scar Eva is obsessed with is identical to one Leslie once used. Remember when she faked trouble breathing or a mugging? Nicole will put the pieces together. Leslie is teaching Eva how to be a witch of 1,000 names. This will lead to a rage-breaking point. Nicole will finally put Leslie on blast in front of the entire community. Think about the psychology of where they live. Tyrell and Smitty live in a brownstone in D.C. They are physically outside the gates of Fairmont Crest. That separation matters. Tyrell has spent his life looking into the gates. He wants the stability and royalty his grandparents represent. His clinginess with Jessica isn't just about her. It's about his desire to keep one perfect thing that belongs inside those gates. When Jessica dumps him, she isn't just ending a romance. She is kicking him out of the dream he's been trying to build. Tyrell's use of Gen Z slang is a fascinating mask. He uses words like cap and sus. He wants to sound like a normal teenager. But he's a candidate master in chess. He is playing a character. The breakup forced that mask to slip. He feels exposed. He isn't just sad. He is humiliated. His careful plan blew up in spectacular fashion in front of everyone. I also want to reframe the champagne mystery for Andre. He's a photographer. He is trained to see the truth through a lens. He captures perfect moments. But he can't look at his own life clearly. He's chasing a mystery while the real threat sits right next to him. Reframe this: Andre isn't the hero of this mystery. He is the subject being hunted by a past he can't outrun. Ted Richardson is the worst person to talk to. This is a man who covered up fathering a whole human being for 20 years. Turning to Ted for honest advice is like asking a shark for a swimming lesson. Andre is doing this because he wants permission to keep lying. He knows Ted won't tell him to go to Dany. Ted didn't go to Nicole. Let's talk about trauma mirroring. Eva Thomas is mirroring Leslie's obsession with appearances. Leslie has many names and many wigs. She has taught Eva that perfection is a tool for manipulation. Now, Eva is using that tool on herself. She believes that if her body is modified, her reality will be too. This is a deep disconnection from herself. It likely comes from the sanity slippage we are starting to see in Leslie. Why is the show spending so much time at the hospital lately? It's because the hospital is where they are forced to be vulnerable. You can't wear a Grand Dane mask and a surgical gown. Eva's plastic surgery plot is bringing Nicole, Ted, and Leslie into one room. They have to deal with each other. It's a pressure cooker disguised as a medical storyline. Nicole is probably feeling a twisted sense of therapy by dealing with Eva. By helping the girl who resulted from her husband's betrayal, she is finally reclaiming power. But she's also exhausted. Dealing with your husband's secret daughter's body dysmorphia is a level of messy even a Dupree shouldn't have to handle. I interpret the olive branch from Joey's sister Heather as a massive red flag. In Fairmont Crest, an olive branch usually has a knife hidden in the leaves. Heather is the impaler. Her reaching out to Dany and Vanessa isn't a sign of peace. It's a sign that she is sizing up her next targets. The show is setting us up to think the Richardson drama is the main event. But the queen pin is moving in the shadows. Tyrell's immaturity isn't a character flaw. It is a plot device. The writers are setting him up to be an anti-hero. He is the nerdy kid who realizes being good didn't keep Jessica. If he turns villainous, it will be the most interesting thing to happen to the kids since Kat donated her liver. He is currently in the sunk cost fallacy. He has put so much into being the stable boyfriend. He can't accept the loss. He feels like if he just tries one more scheme, he can win. But in romance, just like in chess, sometimes you have to admit you've been checkmated. He is in denial right now. But he is trending toward rage very quickly. The stunning announcement on August 6th is going to be about Bill's health. But it will involve Haley's plan blowing up. I predict while everyone is focused on Andre and Eva, Haley will be caught doing something illegal. If Bill collapses again, and the inconsistencies come out, the family will realize the trophy wife is actually a con artist. Let's look at the legacy of abandonment. We can't discuss Tyrell without looking at the security blanket of his past. June always carried that faded photo of two children. Tyrell and Samantha were given up by a mother who couldn't care for them. Even though June is now working at Orphe Jeans and trying to clean up her life, the damage is done. Tyrell refused to see her for a long time. He couldn't just forgive her. When Jessica breaks up with him, she is recreating that foster care abandonment in his mind. There is a deep sadness in the fact that Tyrell's first girlfriend was never as into him as he was into her. He is feeling the unrequited nature of his whole childhood. He wants to be royalty. But he feels like the kid who was left behind. Jessica's UCLA plans represent a world he can't control. For a chess master, an uncontrollable board is a nightmare. The residents of Fairmont Crest are learning something important. You can buy a house behind the gates. But you can't buy your way out of the consequences of your past. Jessica was the only one brave enough to walk away from the mess. But Tyrell's heartache might make sure she never truly gets out. Andre's secret is a champagne mystery that is about to lose its fizz. And Eva's scar is the mirror we are all looking into. It reflects a family that is desperately trying to hide its wounds. I want to hear from you now. Is Tyrell just a heartbroken teenager? Or are we seeing the origin story of the next great villain? Do you think Andre was right to go to Ted with his secret? Or should he have just told Dany the truth from day one? Should Smitty help Andre keep his secret? Or does he owe it to the sisterhood of the Duprees to tell Dany? Is Andre's mystery a bridge too far for Fairmont Crest? And who ends up more shaken by the end of the week? Are you Team Nicole or Team Leslie? Nicole has the moral high ground. But Leslie has the trust fund and the obsession. Who are you rooting for in the battle of the mothers? The gates are closing for today. But the secrets are only getting louder. If you want to keep up with every betrayal and every phantom scar, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like to help other fans find us. And leave a comment below with your wildest theories. We might even feature them in the next breakdown. Until then, keep it messy and keep it rich. I'll see you beyond the gates.